Friends and subscribers, this is China News for August 2013. Gold demand rises in second quarter as expected in China. The World Gold Council announced that Chinese customers raised their purchases of gold to 276 tons in the second quarter, a rise of 87% compared with the same quarter of last year. Third quarter also looking strong. The numbers will come in, of course, later this fall. But they're setting all kinds of records in China purchasing gold, and the reasons are quite clear. Chinese have more expendable income, and they're worried about the direction of the economy. The credit crunch has also put a clamp on some of their bigger purchases, and they want to double down, so to speak, and invest more in physical gold and other hard assets. It's the smart move. Jewelry buyers cast golden glow on bullion in quarter 2, 2013. Survey of Indian and Chinese buyers of bullion through the second quarter shows that most of them believe that the value of their purchases will increase, followed by the second highest total of people believing it will remain stable at least. Some say it will decrease, and some do not know. But in any case, they are buying, and the demand changes are quite significant. Some reports out of India also show that they're having record sales of gold bullion, even though they have raised taxes and put restrictions on purchases of gold. And that certainly will not stop, just as the housing market here in China. The more that central governments put restrictions on purchasing hard assets, the more the public will move into them. It will push the price up rather than push it down as intended. So about jewelry demand. Global jewelry demand with low prices pushed to 575.5 metric tons, a 5-year high. And in the second quarter of 2012, World Gold Council revealed that even though gold prices had dropped and they expected the purchase of physical gold to stabilize, it has increased and will continue to increase, in my humble opinion. As you know, with the recent rise in gold and silver prices here, as a little spike, it looks like there's a lot of headroom going up here. It looks like there's no stopping gold from moving up here and keeping up to $1,400 per ounce, and silver looks like it's got some headroom to go all the way up to as high as $30 per ounce. We'll keep an eye on that. As always, dollar cost average and continue to buy gold and silver. When I was in Hubei province here for a while, I was going through a little bit of withdrawal. I hadn't seen any gold and silver anywhere for about 2 weeks or so. So it's good to get back to the major cities in the east so that I can continue to purchase physical precious metals. And the cartoon of the day, there's Obama and Putin fighting over, among other things, Snowden. We should probably add Assad in here and some other key things, people, places, and things, because the heat is on. Russia, United States, China, and other nations, especially between Putin and Obama, who do not like each other for obvious reasons. And this is going to play out like a soap opera over the coming years, is how far will strongman in Russia go to protect their interests against the daft and inept United States government headed by an empty suit called Barack Obama. Hot in the news throughout China, Asia, and much of the world, Bo Xilai trial has commenced, and it has garnered all kinds of headlines throughout China and Asia. If you don't know, Bo Xilai was a high-level official from Chongqing that a couple of years back was caught accepting bribes, and his wife was charged with the murder of a London-based businessman. A lot of these stories coming out of the whole situation surrounding the Bo Xilai trial sounds more like a soap opera than actual criminal indictment. Bo has denied charges of bribery and other abuses of power. He denied everything across the board, which was a bit of a surprise to some people. But in my mind, what Bo is trying to do is he's trying to make a play for getting back into the politics, the limelight here later on when he does get released from prison. Not sure how long it'll be, but it'll be at least a decade or more that he'll be put away. Some of the accusations ranged from illegal bribery charges of 21.8 million yuan, 5 million yuan amount that is claimed that was embezzled as the governor of another province. His wife actually had received a French villa. His education was paid for overseas, and so many more facts are coming out about this. Although we're not getting the full story, we're not getting the real information that what happened is, of course, not revealed in the press. This is state-controlled media. Bo was aligned with the former president of China, and he had some very powerful friends. In fact, a couple of years ago, I remember hearing rumors that there was a possible coup in the works. That's how powerful these guys were. There's at least two major factions of the Central Party in China, and they were going head-to-head and trying to consolidate more power. And what happened was the side that Bo was on, they obviously lost, and Bo and his wife were the fall people in the power struggle at the highest reaches of the Chinese government. Bo's trial was colorful. He claimed that his wife was having an affair with a police chief who was an assistant to Bo. Many more outrageous stories coming out of this, but one thing is for sure, Bo Xilai, just like all Chinese officials, accept bribes. They do things illegally, and including are involved in murder, cover-up, and racketeering. That is fact. Anyone with half a brain in China will tell you that, and it's hypocritical in a way for the Chinese government to parade Bo out for this trial and claim that it is a free and open trial and he's getting due process, when in fact he was a scapegoat and the fall guy in a power struggle. Kind of reminds you of the trials of the past when Mrs. Mao and the trial of four happened after Mao Zedong had died, and the dog and pony show continues in China. The truth will never be made public, and the internet is the only place where you can get some tidbits of information about what really happened. PetroChina poised to dominate Iraqi oil. This story coming out of Iraq and China. New deals being made for oil resources in the Middle East. China is set to overtake the United States as the world's largest net oil importer, and they need Iraqi oil, and they're doing a good job of using soft power to get it. China's crude oil imports are as follows, and so far this year they're on track to having a record in metric tons, 2012 being 271 million metric tons. They'll blow that away this year and continue to go from there. So as far as the Chinese are concerned, we use soft power. United States and its allies use hard power. You blow it up and we'll come in and clean it up. And that's exactly what they're doing in energy, in mining, in other types of real estate and business investment fronts. They're cleaning up the mess that the allies are muffing up, if you know what I mean. Earlier in this month, almost daily, there were reports about Japan and Abe, his comments and his insistence to visit a shrine that has significance to the pre- and post-World War II sacking of Nanjing. This raised all kinds of accusations and alarm bells throughout China, and the hatred of the Japanese is something that's very obvious and in our face in the newspapers and in comments coming from Chinese officials. Abe actually visited a shrine, and Yaisakuna visits China and South Korea Thursday strongly commended the visit to a controversial Yasukuni shrine by the Japanese cabinet members and scores of lawmakers on the 68th anniversary of Japan's surrender in World War II, urging Japan to reflect on its history of aggression. That is their claim, and they had supporters out in droves with signs and even photos of Hitler next to Abe because of this. And you can bet that this has significance with the Diaoyu and Senkaku Island dispute that is not going to go away and continues to be in the papers almost weekly. As some of you may know, as of July, there are some new visa regulations coming out of the central government for foreign experts in China for all job types. They've added a lot more classifications for foreigners that will be staying in China either for tourism or for work or for spousal reasons, and it's gotten a lot more complicated. It hasn't made things easier. I think that what it will do is it will help to alienate more foreigners from coming to China and giving their expertise or staying longer than they normally would have. In particular, the fines have changed. Now, recently, a foreigner who stayed illegal in China for 33 extra days beyond the visa issued was fined 10,000 yuan, that's $1,630. That would never have happened before July 1st. Before July 1st, it would have been just a slap on the wrist. It would have been about $100, the cost of a new visa, which is fair and reasonable. You know, a 30-day tourist visa is about between 600 and 1,000 yuan, depending on which country you're from in the West. And if you stay beyond your visa, that plus a little bit extra is reasonable. But to fine someone $1,600 US for staying an extra month seems a little bit tit for tat in comparison to other countries. What they're trying to do is they're trying to discourage people from staying here that don't have anything to contribute in regards to taxes as well. But basically what it is just trying to match up with what some U.S. policies are, recent policies by Obama. But another note, I should probably do a video on this, but curious enough, when Chinese go traveling abroad, they can get a visa to travel abroad very, very easily if they travel to countries that are island nations. They can go to Taiwan, they can go to Hainan, which is an island off from China. They can go to places like that much easier than places that are landlocked. And that it really has to do with control. They want to make sure that nobody flees China or has another family or takes assets out of China without that level of control. And islands are a place where people can't really run easily and have a limited amount of investment in banking that can be done on small islands in which China allows citizens to go.